Hello everyone, this is the JPNIC Talk Lounge. Today's guest is Ms. Jennifer Chung, VP for Policy for DotAsia Organization. Good morning, Jen.
Good morning, Akinori.
Thank you very much for coming here.
I'm happy to be invited. Thank you so much.
Very good. Jennifer Chung is a very good friend of mine, and then really capable hand. And then I'd like to introduce her to you, and then I'd like to interview how she has come to this place. So I'd like to start with asking you about what has brought you to your current job.
Oh, okay. That's always an interesting question. So before that, I was working in law, and back in the 2012 round, there was a lot of applications that was written for the, of course, new gTLD round back then. And I volunteered some time writing some of the portions of those applications, and it was for DotAsia. And for a while, it was volunteer, and I thought this was really interesting, actually. Maybe this can be a full-time thing, so that's how it kind of became. I joined DotAsia, and that's my toe into this industry.
So you joined DotAsia just before the 2012 round?
So no, I joined after. So then I was just volunteering back then. Volunteer. Yeah, not a real employee, just a volunteer.
I don't know that. Okay. What is your coverage in DotAsia? What is your responsibility for them?
So now, well, VP policy sometimes doesn't mean anything, but I actually manage the internet governance team. So I have, of course, all the policy making here at ICANN. I manage the portfolio that we keep at the UN level, especially with the IGF. So that also means I take care and manage the APrIGF secretariat team.
Sure.
All of the staff that also have their own initiatives in, APAC. There's a lot of youth initiatives there too. Of course, also our net mission program. The team member is part of course, her name is Sherry, and she's part of the IG team as well. And really a lot of the outreach and community works as well. So the Eco Internet project also falls under the internet governance arena. So it's actually very broad. It's very interesting.
Yes. Very broad. You are also covering the ICANN GNSO,
yes,
Genetic Name Supporting Organization, and you are one of the counselors, right?
I am. I'm a counselor for the registry stakeholder group, and I'm also the vice chair from the contracted parties house.
Wow. Yeah. So for you, these two, one is the ICANN policy and another is the Internet Governance Forum thing.
Yeah.
Are they connected to each other, or what do you think?
There's definitely a lot of connection. There's also some overlap in the things people care about, and also the people as well. Sometimes you see a lot, you look around, it's old friends at the IGF, at the regional IGFs, the national IGFs, and of course you come to ICANN meetings, either online, in person, you see a lot of people who really care about the same things. I would say the difference really is in ICANN, it's more concentrated.
Okay.
ICANN is about names and numbers.
To the point.
Yes. It's about policy making there, especially for GNSO. We are the managers of the policy development process. So it's actually quite focused there. IGF is amazing in the fact that it's very broad.
Yes.
You can talk about governance of the internet, governance on the internet, everything that surrounds it, including freedom of speech, of course, all the cybersecurity issues, even more geopolitical issues as well. Things that kind of come up and it's hot topics as well. These are not usually sessions at ICANN, but of course there are always, a high-level plenary sessions at ICANN that kind of touch on the pulse point of what the community cares most about.
Okay. For in ICANN, so we had finally we're that's on the pipe. I mean that the 2026 round. How do you like that? Is it really a great achievement of yours to have the 2026 round?
Not for us collectively. I think many of us have been waiting for this for a very long time. Of course, DotAsia is super supportive of this, and we're looking forward to what the next round can bring. we are actually helping a lot of people do the applicant support program. We are one of the mentors there as well. Of course, since previously, the previous round for .kids, we were the only ones that received that support. So, we hope to kind of bring our knowledge and to help those applicants this time around.
Right. So that's maybe a little bit DotAsia specific. .kids was the one of the applied for label for the 2012 round.
Yes.
Which was handled by the DotAsia Organization. And then this time, DotAsia is of course the one of the gTLD registry, and then they did the .kids case for 2012, and then that kind of skill is now being utilized for the applicants for the 2026 round. And then what do you like the current proceedings of that applicant support program support of DotAsia?
I'm hoping it's very successful. I'm not personally the one handling it. My good colleague Evan is doing a lot of the detailed work. But from all the reports that she's giving back to the team, I think it's very positive. I think we've made sure that all the questions the applicants have, especially because ICANN policy can be very complex, as you know. It's actually still very complex even for a lot of us that have been in this space for this long. So kind of demystifying all of that. A lot of questions about, what about costs? What is all of this? How do we get this? How do we stay afloat? What is the kind of thresholds we need to reach? And all of those questions we were hoping, we were able to make them feel a little more calm.
Great. It's the 2026 round is just around the corner. We are now having it. And then we are at the ICANN 85 Mumbai meeting. And then maybe we will have a lot of the updates from the ICANN organization. So that's that's something I'm looking forward to it. Then, that's ICANN part of your activity, and then I'd like to move on to the IGF part.
Okay.
And your achievement for the 2025 was stellar.
Oh my goodness.
Let me introduce some of them. She has been the member of the multi-stakeholder advisory group of the IGF, and then you are the co-convener.
Yes.
Co-convener of the IMSB.
Yes.
Informal Multistakeholder Sounding Board. Could you explain what is IMSB?
Sure. So it was a group or a sounding board created by the co-facilitators, so Kenya and Albania, from some, suggestions from member states and other stakeholders that they really needed to have a mechanism, a multi-stakeholder mechanism to help them aggregate and bring in more input from the multi-stakeholder voices, especially connected to internet governance and digital policy.
Right.
So they created this IMSB, so the Informal Multistakeholder Sounding Board, out of the 2025 MAG, the Multi-Stakeholder Advisory Group. There's a lot of acronyms here.
Welcome to this industry. Yeah.
And also the leadership panel. So we are, I think, in total 11 people. And our task was really throughout the WSIS plus 20 review process to find ways to go into the community discussions, go into the community-led consultations, also host our own informal multi-stakeholder sounding board consultations and assist with the co-facilitators, so the ambassadors, for them to take in all that input as well.
Right.
And it's quite a lot because it was a very compressed timeline.
Right.
And also, I think they also tried their best to keep us informed as much as they could and asked us for our advice. Not that they would take only our advice and then just, be done with it, but we always reminded them we are, one mechanism. It doesn't replace the actual real consultation to do with the wider community.
Right. I think that I apprised the IMSB a lot because this time the co-facilitator for the WSIS Plus 20 well, really cognizant of the need of the engagement of the multi-stakeholders. And then IMSB is quite tangible mechanism for that. And then you made a great job to, the advice to the COFAX in a very close position to them. So how did you enjoy that position? Is that something foreign procedure? Maybe that would be the foreign procedure to you because that's a UN procedure.
Yes.
But at the same time, it's informal.
Yes.
So how came was it?
So I really was very surprised at how much there was a great deal of trust. And I think that is the most important part. Yeah. We trusted the co-facilitators, they trusted us, and we worked very closely together. They were very open, and they are very busy people too, and so are some of the IMSB board members. But we took the time to really liaise very closely, communicate very closely. I think the word informal is giving people, oh, why is it called informal? How come it looks like that? And I think that's simply because we are not member states, and that's a designation for us because we don't represent member states. We represent the multi-stakeholder, different groups, technical community, civil society, businesses, academia, and all of that. So there's no government actually on this board.
Yeah, and moreover, your domicile is Hong Kong.
Yes.
That's I heard that you are the first person who stand on the podium of the UN conference hall. Is that true?
That I was told afterwards when my team was trying to, let's find a good picture for her, and they did some research, and they're like, oh, did you know that you are the first person from Hong Kong? And I'm like, I didn't know that. That was a great honor. Yes, and the General Assembly Hall is pretty amazing. It's quite a thing. Yeah.
How do you like the Vices Plus 20 outcome?
I think we were really happy with the outcomes. I think a lot of different parts of the community wanted different things, but I think there were main things that were confirmed in the outcomes is the importance of the success of these outcomes lies in multi-stakeholder cooperation, in the implementation as well. There's a lot of follow-up actions there. And one key highlight we really were very happy about is the permanent mandate for the IGF.
That's right.
Yes, we were very happy about that. And of course, there's a series of more detailed outcomes about sustainability of the funding, and also, of course, the sustainability of the funding for all of the business outcomes as well. Another really key achievement I think DotAsia is particularly happy about is the participation of youth. And they are named in the outcomes document. Actually, the APAC youth have been so instrumental in gathering and kind of convening a lot of the global youth inputs, and they came up with a declaration of meaningful youth participation. So I think it was really worthwhile, and they feel like when they put in the efforts that they actually see a tangible result. I think that gives them a lot of confidence to continue on too.
Right. So yes, I like the Vices Plus 20 outcome because it's that it represents the really increased expectation on the IGF process from the UN. Then that means that the IGF should be more effective to solve the problem in a way. That's a place for dialogue, but still need effectivity for the solving the problem. IGF need to help the solution. So in that way, I'm really thinking about we must do more on IGF. So in that, the youth involvement is really impressive, and then that's really thanks to you, thanks to your effort.
Oh, not collective effort, and especially one of the co-facilitators, Ambassador Janina from Albania. She was absolutely clear that she wanted to make sure that there was youth voices, real youth voices coming into the consultation. So also thanks to her as well.
Okay, great. All right. So Vices Plus 20 is over. Now we're living in 2026.
Yes.
Do you have any future outlook or future plan for your own responsibility?
Oh, we have lots of work to do because even though we have very high spirits for the outcomes, the next step is implementation and seeing how the way that the UN system works. It's a little slower than what we're used to when we're not governments, of course.
Right.
But even though we're not member states, we should still pay a lot of attention to how we're implementing, how we can assist with implementing, especially being part of the technical community, especially being in Asia Pacific, a region that is so vast and so affected by a lot of these different outcomes. I think it really is on us, a kind of an obligation and responsibility. Since we got what we wanted, permanent IGF, how do we make it so?
Right.
And that's always devil's in the details, and we need to still roll our sleeves up. We need to work. So in my future, I see a lot of that. I feel the responsibility. I feel the excitement to be able to shape this implementation too.
Okay. Actually, you and I were in the dinner with the youngsters here in Mumbai.
Yes.
Do you expect them for their own performance for the future?
I'm very excited to see that they are so excited. I think every time I interact with the next gen, the fellows, the alumni from the youth capacity building programs, their excitement gives me new energy to look at these things. And they always have very fresh insights because I feel like you and I, we might have seen a lot of things. We might already think a lot of things on certain how the solutions might look like, how the process might look like. But they are always very surprising in teaching us, oh, this is another way to look at it, or they have a bright idea. And I think we have an obligation and also a responsibility to nurture that innovation as well, and to give them that support that they can also continue on their journey in internet governance, and they, in the future, they'll be sitting here as well in our spots.
They will do this.
They will do this. Oh, WSIS plus 30 is all of them.
All of them.
All of them. So
we're disappearing.
No, we will reap the benefits of their work.
That's right. And we rely on them.
We do.
Okay.
We do.
Thank you very much, Jen. This time the guest for the JPNIC Talk Lounge was the Jennifer Chung, DotAsia Organization, VP for Policy. Thank you very much, Jen, for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.